Alright, so now we're going to create another series of layers. So this would be our transformation one. And inside of that we'll have the mass, and we'll have notes. Alright, so the mass, we're just going to copy this one onto the mass. We can just turn that one off. Basically want to collect each one so you still have a record of it. And let's see, the first thing we're going to do is for this project we're going to lift it off of the ground plane, and that will allow us to make a transition. We'll assume this is a public building, it's kind of a beautiful transition from the street into the building mass itself. So let's go ahead and we'll hide everything but this. I'm going to use HI, which I've already programmed to be hide everything but that. You can also do it by going in here and invert selection hide. Alright, I'm going to move this up, say 20 feet. Let's see, we had 150 feet tall, so maybe actually let's do it 15 feet. Alright, then I'm going to show all, which you can also right click here and show all. So that's our first move, is to move that up. So we're going to record that in our notes that we did that. Doesn't look like we still have those property lines, so I'm going to make those again by just exploding this, duplicate border, and then projecting that down here. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to draw lines connecting that to that. And this will represent the motion of actually moving this thing up. Let's go ahead and change the note color to red. I don't really need all these other ones. Well, we'll keep them for now, but we'll probably end up deleting them. And this property line probably should just go here. Okay, so to put arrowheads on each one, you just type in arrowhead, and you select the end of the arrow, or the curve, and it automatically puts on an arrow. It's pretty cool. Alright, we probably can get rid of that one. Let's see what the next move. So that's our first transformation. So these other ones we can go and get rid of. I'm going to just turn off polysurfaces and surfaces. If you haven't turned on filters, I highly recommend it. It basically allows you to tell it what you want to select and what you don't want to select. So I don't want to select my polysurfaces. I'm just going to get rid of my curves. Move that curve there. And it looks great. And the other thing I did was I exploded this, so I probably want to join it back together before I move on. Okay, so now it's all good. So that's my first transformation. And let's go ahead and copy that with the objects. And we'll make a second transformation. Alright, so in this one I'm going to go ahead and turn off transformation 1 so you don't lose any of that information, and just we'll delete these arrows. I'll need a new set of arrows for the next transformation. Alright, so what we're going to do in this one is it's going to create some, I'm going to start moving the edges. So before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and copy this so it's in my clipboard, and I'm going to start moving edges. So maybe like this edge here. Of course, you do your own thing. Now remember, this is divisible by 100, so I want this to be some dimension that makes sense with 100. So I'm going to say 20, and then I'm going to make sure it snaps in that direction. And let's just say that I want to move this. So this is a 96 dimension, so let's say I move it 12 feet. So we start to get a little bit of complexity going on with the massing. It's pretty good. And so now we need to go back and render our note, kind of those transformations. So I'm going to paste in the old geometry, and I'm going to explode it again and use duplicate border. Make sure I'm on, let's create a new one called hidden. And we'll make this one be, well, let's keep it on black. And we'll have so I made hidden under transformation 2. I'll make the color black, and the line type will be hidden. And we'll go ahead and now duplicate border. Alright, and we'll delete the geometry before. Oh, we want that geometry. We're going to get rid of these surfaces. Those are our extra surfaces. Probably one up here too. Alright. So you couldn't really see that the line type changed because there's nothing indicating that. So what we're going to do is use scale, set line type scale, and we're going to use, say, something as big as the site. So if we were going like 1/8 scale, we'd go 96 because there's 96 1/8 inch in a foot, 8 inches in a foot. But you can't really see that because this is a huge scale. So let's try like 16th inch scale, which would be 192. Still can't see it. Let's try like a 300 scale, so it would be, or 1 to 30 scale, so let's be 360. Alright, still not seeing. Let's make sure we don't have extra geometry. Alright, it's on the wrong layer, so we'll just make sure it's on the right one now. Alright, so now you can start to see so when we do our diagramming, this will help us kind of understand kind of where those moves came from. So the final thing we're going to do is to note with arrows what we moved. This is just a good discipline to get into as you're designing, to kind of record your major moves and in some kind of fashion, so that you can show your professor, or you just can show your process, during a review, or maybe you're designing something for a client and you want to kind of show them how you came to your final conclusion. So that looks pretty good. Alright, so now let's do the final transformation. We'll go ahead and duplicate these and turn off transformation 2. Call this 3. And we'll put some kind of void in it here. So we need to decide how to make that void. And what I would do is start to kind of think about how you would divide the original facade up and have it kind of make sense with either kind of one orthogonal or this whole kind of shift here. So either you're going to have it reference kind of the original plane it was in, or reference this new plane surface here. And by that I mean kind of this one, but it'll be easier for us to work with the one that's coplanar, or not coplanar, but at least orthogonal. So I'm going to move this one, I'm going to use the one in back. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to draw a line, a vertical line. I'm going to move that in, say, 24 feet, because again, we want something that's divisible by 96. 24 isn't exactly what 12 is. And then maybe I'm going to hold down the Alt key so this curve gets copied. We're going to go another 24. Let's see, maybe actually we'll go a little bit further, we'll go another 12. So in the end we moved it 36 feet. And then let's go ahead and see what floor plates might look like in this building, so we can start to see what we might want to line up if we do some kind of void. So I'm going to use the contouring command. And I'm going to select the base point, and it'll cut this in any, so if I cut it like this, every 15 it'll cut through the building at this diagonal. So it's really important that you click something that's vertical, pure vertical, if you are planning on this describing floor plates. And I'll say every 15 feet. So this starts to show us what possible floor plates might be. And the other trick I'm going to use is that you can assign your C-plane to be a surface that's on the model. So if you don't want to flip from front to right, you can actually, if you know something that's straight to the world you want to model in, you can just select that. I've set mine to be CE. And then I can just grab the plane. You saw it flip there. So now when I draw, I'm drawing on that. I'll be drawing on that plane. Now I just need to get it to be intersect. Okay. So I'll have this rooftop terrace be, not rooftop, but this kind of opening be on a third level, and I'm going to project that through. So now that's over here. It's pretty cool. And we'll go ahead and loft between them. It probably will be way too low. can see those are going in different directions. Huh. Let me try loft, see what lofty does again. Hide that, see what we created here. Oh, looks fun. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cap that. And then I'm going to move this face. I don't really want it to be that deep in the building. And we'll go ahead and extrude it out of the building a bit. Cool, so now all we need to do is Boolean that out. So I'm going to go ahead and copy it to my clipping board. And so I have it still, and then I'm going to Boolean that out, Boolean difference. Sweet. I don't need these contouring lines. Turn off meshes too. Okay, so then the last bit will be to, I'll make a hole in this. So again, I'm drawing straight on that. I'm going to offset, say, 2 feet. And I'll use that to make a hole. So if you've never done that, just type in make hole, select the curve that you're on, and the surface you want to drill through or make a hole through, and it automatically, it looks like I need to go in the other direction too, since I was kind of halfway in, halfway out. Okay, let's fix that. Just move this all the way out. Make a hole. There. And we'll go ahead and put this and make this a little bit brighter so it's like pops. So maybe that's a big idea. So I'll just go ahead and have that color be red. Alright. And let's see, so the things that we did, the transformations that we want to talk about, are the Boolean, I think, for the most part. So let's go ahead and get rid of this curve, that curve. We don't need our hidden lines, because that was part of the last bit of transformation. We just need to describe this thing. So I'm going to hide that. Talk about that. Best to describe that. I'm going to change the layer to that. Maybe move it. Just do that. In fact, let's use the red piece there. Alright, cool.